Welcome, John Mason, Senior Vice President of Customer Engineering at Zafin, to these Bitesize Insights. We're very happy to have you here and chat with us a little bit about what's going on in the industry.
Good. It's excellent to be here again.
John, to kick us off, could you give us a little bit of an overview of Zafin and your role within the organization so that we can pinpoint the topics that are coming up a bit more?
Sure. Yeah. So, Zafin is a core modernization company these days. So, previously we were focused on product and pricing. We've now encompassed a new kind of strategy and direction where, understanding the need for modernization requires us to provide additional capabilities to achieve that role. And within the company, I play a role within an organization called customer engineering. So I very much play the role of a bank, and I experiment about how do banks adopt Zafin, how do banks adopt a modernization strategy, how do banks solve various business problems and technical problems using the tools available to the market and to the industry in general. And one of those that we're going to talk about today is the BIAN approach.
Okay, so when these leaders come to speak with you about core modernization, what is the support? What kind of assistance and support do they need? Do they ask for?
So there's a number of different areas that they need support. Number one is around the general strategy around modernization. What does it mean? A lot of people are still tied up with the old way of legacy big transformation projects, which quite frankly just don't work. Everybody gets fired before they actually finish. The second one is how to do it. So what do they need to do? How do they phase it? And then how do they actually bring in the right expertise? So you look at how do banks modernize their products and the pricing capabilities. So again, Zafin has some phenomenal capabilities around product and proposition management, which is a big thing that we focus on now. The second one is it's like how do they integrate? How do they create a future-proof platform where they can continue to innovate it over time? So, again, we bring, one of the best-in-class capabilities with regards to a platform called Zafin Integrate and Orchestrate, which again is foundationally based on BIAN. So again, we help the bank modernize their APIs, modernize how they communicate from a business perspective to an industry model in a very scalable, performant manner.
All right. So what is the one first step that is always important to take in those situations? Then is there one thing that you have to kick off with?
Yeah, we're seeing this, more and more. One of the key things is about externalization of product and pricing from the core banking systems. So within BIAN, within the number of proof of concepts that we've done, we've proven and we've shown that you can move to a more coreless core banking approach. Okay, so we're talking about simplifying the core banking platforms down to simple, lightweight ledgers, and externalizing product and pricing into Zafin and using the Zafin IO, integrate and orchestrate capabilities to seamlessly, move that information around in a very, industry standardized kind of model.
All right, and how does innovation fit into that? How does that become such an the integral part of the developments?
Yeah, so it's once you unlock the power of product pricing, proposition management, as I've already mentioned, and we'll be talking about at the BIAN Summit later this year. Once you unlock that, you can start to look at the value-added capabilities. So, for example, within Zafin, we've got a practice, not just a set of software platforms, but a practice around a concept called Zafin Studio, where we help banks move into what is sometimes referred as product 2.0, 3.0, where we really enable them to innovate. How do they want to create? How do they want to manufacture products once they've moved outside of these constraints of the core banking platforms? So using Zafin's, industry knowledge, best practice, using our capabilities, which are underpinned by, the industry standard, which is BIAN, banks can really look at how do they respond to customers' needs? How do they respond to competitive pressures much more effectively and much more quickly and much more cost effectively as well, to those challenges? And we're seeing significant uptake in a number of our existing clients around the world. Again, they're spread across all the geographies, various sizes, various complexities. But again, the level of adoption, is simply amazing at the moment.
So you've just mentioned the customer service aspect, and you've mentioned the cost aspect. Is there one that is more relevant than the other, or that's more in the forefront, or do they have equal weight?
They're different levers. So depending on the organization, if you're a kind of a legacy organization, you may be looking at both dimensions. One from a cost reduction perspective, because again, you want to simplify and externalize capabilities from the old mainframe world, which, with a significant costs, the number of people having to maintain legacy, the as is kind of models. So there's a natural progression, and you get customer benefits by moving those capabilities onto new platforms, such as Zafin. Without doing that, you'll never achieve either of them, because everybody tries to do cost saving on legacy. You just get more constraints. You're unable to respond to market pressures either around dynamic rates or service based and subscription based offerings. So by doing both, by migrating and externalizing capabilities into platforms such as Zafin, you really do unlock the new kind of capabilities for customers. So as a bank, you can use it to unlock funds to then reinvest in customer initiatives, because trying to just build customer initiatives on the legacy platforms just doesn't work. They fail. They take so long, 6, 9, 12 months. So you're just wasting money basically. So by putting Zafin in there, you basically unlock both pretty much at the same time.
And to get that head start with Zafin, best way would be to attend the BIAN Banking Summit in November and come speak to you at the event. Is that?
Absolutely, yeah. So again, we'll be talking about some of the key topics I've already mentioned here about this concept of product 2.0. What does that really mean? Zafin integrate and orchestrate from a buying perspective. What does that mean and how? And again, we'll be talking about our customer successes, and our majority of our customers will also be there. So it's a good place for people to come and talk. And again, it's just the best way to come and meet some of the Zafin leadership and implementation teams.
Wonderful. Well, on that note, very much look forward to catching up with you in London in November. Thank you very much, John.
Thank you very much, Marguerite.